everybody, I'm art teacher Amy, and I welcome you from the Plainview Old Bethpage Library to my step-by-step drawing lesson of Pikachu. So I hope you're having a good summer, maybe enjoying the beach or the pool, getting out and having fun. I hope you're doing your the reading program with the library. I have actually read 3 books already because I love to read. So I'm doing my own reading program, and today I will tell you what supplies you need, and we will talk a little bit about Pokemon and Pikachu, and yeah, thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this lesson. So this lesson is on Pokemon Pikachu. So my Pokemon fans, you probably know a number of the characters. I have a few of them up here behind me. So I like to just have a fun little quiz before we start, and I have a couple questions, and if you don't know them, that's okay. You can always just draw this for fun. But if you do know about Pokemon, then you could probably answer a bunch of my questions. Actually, I really only have, how about 2 today? So one of them is, how many Pokemon characters can you list? I bet if you are a serious Pokemon fan, you could list quite a few of them. Now, I know a bit about Pokemon, but I don't think I could list more than 5. So let's see, how about Bulbasaur? Of course, Pikachu, Eevee, Growlithe, Squirtle, and Charizard and Charizard X, which I've drawn those also. So there you go, not so bad, right? So today Pikachu is, of course, so I'm sure you're very aware of this character. And so we're gonna need a yellow, a red, a black, maybe a pink for the mouth, and a little brown on the tail. So what supplies do you want to use today? It's up to you. There are a few things I'm going to recommend, and then you decide. So the first thing you will need is a good drawing paper, and that's one thing that I am big on, is a nice pad of drawing paper. So if you are drawing this summer and you want to do a bunch of drawings, my favorite pad of paper is this one. Which is the Canson XL watercolor paper. It is 140-pound paper, which means it's very thick. It's great for any mediums. You could do colored pencils, watercolors, markers, oil pastels. You could basically paint on this with acrylics. You could do a lot on this. So Amazon has it right now for $6, and this is for the August lesson, and it's been that price for a while. So if you order some things on Amazon, I definitely recommend this. Just look for that 140 pounds. The other options as far as drawing paper go, if you would like to get a Strathmore mixed media pad, this is on Target. I do suggest the bigger size. I like 9 by 12. This is 5 by 8, but this is a decent paper. It's almost 100 pounds, and it's good for markers, colored pencils, oil pastels, but I don't recommend painting on it. And this is another Strathmore pad I have, Bristol board. This is nice. It is also 100 pounds and super smooth paper, really nice for markers. The other supplies I recommend, if you're gonna order on Target and grab a pad of paper, the Strathmore mixed media, if you get that one, it's $10. I would definitely add on the Crayola colored pencils. 24 count has a lot of different colors in it. You can get a bunch of different greens and blues, light greens, which are nice to add to most of our pictures. Or the other option is the Crayola markers, the 10 count bold classic colors, and I also recommend the 10 count bright colors, because this comes with the light blue, light green, which are nice to have. Especially like with this picture, I like to have like a light green grass. These are $2.50 at Target. All right. Let's get started. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your paper and then decide if you want to do colored pencils, markers, watercolors. I'm going to do this one in markers, and maybe I'll add a little colored pencil. So first off, you need a drawing, something to draw with, so you need a pencil, and I always have a Sharpie on me. And if you just need to grab a Sharpie quick, Target has them, but also dollar store, they're $1. All right, so before we start, I like to do a little artist pledge. If you'd like to repeat after me, you can. If you want to just listen, that's fine. And it goes like this. I'm an artist, I can draw, and today I can draw Pikachu. And so I'm gonna do mine in Sharpie so you can see it better. So we are going to start with the eyes. So Pikachu, what I want you to do today is draw bigger than you normally draw. Kids tend to draw small. So if you're holding your paper this way, you're going to draw your character to pretty big, right? So it's gonna take up a lot of your paper, most of your paper. I know that sometimes you like to draw the characters kind of small. If you want to hold your paper the other way, that's an option also. So you could hold it this way, which is landscape, and that way is portrait. And then we need some kind of background. I like to put something behind my character. So instead of just being all white, if you're good at drawing the boy, you can try doing that. Let me hold that up because I know it's a little low on the video there. So you can find these images when you Google Pikachu, and you'll find a whole bunch of different images of Pikachu. So if you want to do another one after we do this, you want to get a couple different images, you can find them on Google. This is the one we're doing, but I found this one. And of course, there's the evolution, as you know, which was actually my other question, which I forgot to ask you. What is the evolution of Pikachu? So I know he turns into Raichu. Okay, so yeah, if you want to do more characters, I would say look for a book, or definitely check online, and you can keep drawing with your new supplies. Or maybe you have a bunch of stuff at home. Okay, so the eyes. So again, draw bigger than you normally would. We're going to take up the whole paper. Just leave room for this tail to go off to the side, and leave room for the ears. So I'm going to put my eyes right about here. And there, I'm going to do 2 circles. Again, bigger than you think. Even if your paper is just this small, you can always turn it this way and get yourself a nice big character here. So inside the eye, we have Pikachu is looking that way. So I have 2 circles here, and then I'll fill in the eyes black in a minute. You can always do that later with your Sharpie. We have a little tiny curve for the nose, and it's probably even smaller than that, but that's all right. Now we're gonna do the mouth. So his mouth is open, and we have a little curve up and a curve down for that. And we're gonna make a big U shape like that. And so Pikachu's mouth is open, so we're gonna make a curve inside the mouth for the tongue. And then, you know what, I'm gonna put the circles on the face after. Let's draw the face first, and then we'll put those on. So we're gonna go above the eyes with the forehead, which is right about here. So it's just a curve above the 2 eyes. And then we have the ears, which are going to go out. So they're like bunny ears. They go out to a point and come back, and then we have this black stripe we'll put on them. So we're gonna curve out. And actually, it's funny, they're long and skinny. So we're gonna curve out, we're gonna curve back. And at the top here, we're gonna have a curve this way. So this is gonna be black. I'm just gonna shade that for now and then I'll fill it in. Okay, so the side of Pikachu's head kind of curves in a little bit and then curves out. If you want to do that, you can. If you want to just make one curve, that's also an option. I'm gonna make a little curve and another curve. So you're just ending right below the mouth here, because then we're gonna start the arm and the rest of the body. So over here, I'm gonna do the same with the ear. I'm gonna curve out, point and curve back. Now, if you're using pencil and one is longer than the other, you can always fix it. And then I have a curve here for the black part, which again, I'll shade in a little bit. Okay, so then this side of the face, we're gonna make a curve. Little curve in, little curve out. Now, if you do that and you don't like it, erase it. You can always change it a little bit if it's too curvy. Because it's not a big curve, it's just a slight curve. It's so funny, I'm so used to seeing him, and when his eyes aren't filled in black, I feel like something's not right. So, you know what, let me get some black in here. He just doesn't look like himself. And I'm gonna have to grab one more Sharpie. This one's finally getting dry after doing a lot of pictures with it. Okay, so now we know where the circles go on the face. So we're going to do a circle here, and I'm gonna do a circle here. Okay, so those will be red later. All right, we need the arm. I'm gonna do this arm first, then that arm. And you know what? Give me 1 sec, and I'm gonna switch Sharpies. All right, got a new Sharpie. So here we go. This arm goes down like this and curves down like this. How big is it from your face? It's probably about, I think it's about the same size as his face. So there's a way to measure while you're drawing. You just take your other hand that you're not drawing with, make an L, turn it into a C, lock your fingers, and if you measure the arm, okay, so it's about to the eyes. Let me just check on this one. If I measure this arm, yeah. So it's just a way of figuring out how long things are in your picture. So if you measure from your eyes to your chin, and then slide your fingers down here, that's about how big the arm is. You can do the same for here, eyes to chin, and see the arm is that big. Okay, so down here, he has these tiny little fingers. Oops, that's a few too many, but that's okay. I believe, yeah, he has 5 little fingers. They're so small, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 5 fingers. And over here, we'll do this arm, and you know what, let me make sure I get it about the right height. So I will do that and put a little dot where I want to stop it. So I'm gonna make, again, a curve. And this one actually goes right by his face, okay. So we're gonna do that. If you wanna make it go behind, actually no, don't do that, that looks weird. Okay, now we got 5 little fingers. And so let's do the body. So how big is his body? It's funny that his head is actually, I believe his head is as big as his body. Let me just double check before we draw it. So again, if you'd like to try this measuring thing, if you just want to guess, that's fine. So I'm going to take my fingers, make that C shape, measure the head, and then you just slide your fingers down, and yeah, look at that. So if so his head is the same as his body, the same length as his body. So let me see if I was able to do that over here on this one. All right, a little close. I made this one bigger It's also, my paper is so big. So let's see, so this one from here to here, slide my fingers, make a dot, and he's gonna be a little shorter than I was thinking. So you know what, because my paper is so big, I think I'll make him a tiny bit bigger, but if you would like to do it that way, where you measure, slide, and put a dot, that's where your body's gonna stop, right there. All right, so I'm gonna make a curve on this side of his body. And he's not super skinny, right? Kind of rounded in the middle there. And let's see, so then we have our foot. So I'm gonna curve here and put the foot on, which, you know, every time I look, I forget that his feet are actually quite skinny, but it's up to you. I'm gonna make a U shape that goes down, comes up, and I'm gonna put, his feet actually have 3 toes. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I gotta make them skinnier. All right, the other side, I'm gonna make his U, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, there we go. All right, now, so like I was saying, I'm gonna make him a little tiny bit longer than my dot. So I'm going to do the bottom of his body, which just goes up a little bit, down a little bit. Now his knee is actually right here, so we're gonna curve like this for the knee. Okay, so we have Pikachu, we need his tail. At any time, if I'm going too slow, you can fast forward the video. That's the nice thing about the video lessons. Or if you wanna back it up, you wanna watch it again, you can always do that. Okay, so you know what? I just want to fill these ears in. And then let's do the tail. So if you have your Sharpie right now and you want to start tracing, go ahead. If you don't have a Sharpie, I would suggest a black colored pencil or a black Crayola marker, because we're really gonna only need the black on the ears and the eyes. So you could do that in black marker. But I would definitely pick something to trace your whole character here, whether that's in the black marker or black colored pencil, because it really makes a difference. Like if you look at these characters here, the way they're drawn, they have a black outline to them, and it just makes your character pop out a lot more. All right, so let's do the tail. I'm just gonna, this was a little light, let me darken that. All right, so the tail is a zigzag that goes up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 4 slants. So I'm gonna start out down here, and it goes slant, slant. I'm gonna go out, it's a zigzag, so now we go up, up. And it starts off skinny and then gets fat, right? So we're gonna go up and up. And we're gonna slant again and again. And now we can now you can get wider here. That could actually be a little wider. And then your last part is gonna be really wide, so you're gonna slant here, slant here, and it actually goes behind his hand. And in this other picture I have, it actually goes behind his head. So that's up to you how big you wanna make his tail. So again, I like to put my character somewhere, so I have him on the grass over here, and I'll fill this in a little more while we're coloring. So I'm just gonna put a little curve, he can sit on the grass. And there you go. That is Pikachu. I'm just gonna make the eyes a little darker. So what you wanna do right now is, oh, I almost forgot something, hold on. There is his brown part of his tail. If you want to make the little zigzag here, for where the tail turns brown here, you can. If you want to wait and do that with brown marker, you can. And the other thing, I like to actually sign my name small in the corner. All right, and here we go. So go ahead and trace in Sharpie, and I'm gonna grab my markers and my colored pencils, and then go ahead and get what you need to color, and I'll do some coloring. If you'd like to stay with me and do some coloring, that's great. If you wanna color it on your own, go ahead and do that. And yeah, I'll see you back here in a second. Okay, so I'm back. I have my markers I'm using. I have some tan colored pencils that I want to use, maybe a little on the tail, a little in the mouth. And if you feel like making Pikachu with markers and you want to do the background with colored pencils, that's an option. You could do greens here, blues on your sky. So I have a couple of tans, like I said, and I'm going to do my Pikachu in markers. So I'm gonna start with the, I'm gonna do the red cheeks just because that's easy to do first. So I'm just using Crayola markers. If you have nicer markers at home, that's fine. Prismacolor makes a great set of markers. Okay, and then, so Pikachu is yellow. And you know what, since I started to work on this one, I think I'll keep going with this one since this is empty right now. So one suggestion is outline your Pikachu with your marker first. And what that will do is just give you what I call like a border to stay within that, to color. I think it makes it a little easier to color. Now, if you are using Crayolas, you might know that if you go on the tip, you're gonna get a thin line. So if you slant your marker this way, you're gonna get a fat line. And I find that that fills out your picture much nicer than doing a thin line. Is gonna take a really long time. So I'm gonna do the arm. And the body. And the face. So again, I'm going up around the ears. The other suggestion I'll make, if now you guys are probably mostly 6th grade and up, so you might have, by now learned a lot in your art classes. So I probably don't have to remind you that you want to go in one direction and try not to, go up and down, side to side. And so with the body, I'm just going to go up and down. And then with the face, I want to go around. See, this is where it helps, I think, to have some kind of go around all your shapes first. Go up and down. I'm going to go up and down on the face. But because we have Pikachu has a curve here, we have a curve for our chin. It's also up to you if you would like to, this one I got from Google Images. If you want to do some of these shadows, if you have, you can do them with tan colored pencils, or if there's any chance you have a tan marker, you can do some shadows on your character. Okay, so with the tail, you're gonna make it yellow, and then at the bottom, you have just that little bit of brown, which is, like we were saying before, it's just this little section in here. I'll do it on this one just to show you. It's just this first little L shape. And at the top, if you can make a little zigzag, and then you can blend that into your yellow. Now, if you get brown on top of your yellow marker, me and my pocket full of markers, you can actually like put your yellow right here and blend that. And if your tip does get a little brown on it, no big deal. I actually just take another piece of paper and just rub it on there and it should come off. You could also, I think as you keep using it up into your tail, it's coming off already, so. All right, so then how about the grass? I'm gonna do the hill. And so this one I actually started in dark green, but I was thinking it might actually be nice to do some light green. I love light green. I also have dark green, so maybe I could, let's see, maybe we'll finish this hill here. And maybe somewhere I could put in some light green. So again, just take notice of, instead of, going fast, I would take your time, go slower, and you can actually make these lines like this. It just looks nicer. You're just making your little curvy bumps here. Now, I would say probably if you started with dark green, stick with dark green, because your paper really doesn't have that much of a hill to it. Mine has a huge hill here, and I'm not sure if I would be able to get some light green in here. I don't know if that's gonna look a little weird, or we'll give it a try. Okay, so then you can keep going with your hill. And the other thing you could do is, so let me put these back and let me grab my colored pencils. So I have this, what color is this? This is a bronze gold, and then this set that I was showing you before has tan, light brown, and brown in it. So I'm just gonna grab a couple browns, and on the tail, what you can do is, you can give it this shadow. So I'm gonna just color in on top of my marker with the tan. And maybe try a different tan here. And we've got the shadow behind him on the tail there. And then if, like I was saying before, if you do want to do some other things, he's got a little shadow under his chin. One nice thing with markers is once they're dry, you could, if you don't like it, you can actually erase. You can't erase markers, but you could erase, just say you don't like that, you could erase that, which is nice. And then, so his feet, and then there's a little shadow down here, but I'll just do a little on his feet. Sorry. The other nice thing is, like say with the grass, I actually like to put, to combine markers with colored pencils, and you can do markers first, and then just like we're doing here, just add like little highlights with your colored pencils. Like on the grass, for example, if I take this set, I can take the, I like the light green, and it's not going to show up so much on that one, but you can just do a few lines here and there, just lightly, and it just gives it some texture. And then of course, like I mentioned before, the other option is just actually doing the grass in colored pencil. But obviously that's gonna give a much lighter look than your markers. And so the last thing I would suggest is your sky, and it's up to you. I like light blue. If you wanna do the whole thing in light blue colored pencil, you could do that. Or if you do happen to have the Crayola bright colors, that one has the light blue. That one has the light blue marker that I like also. Here, do that one over here. That one's getting a little dry, but so again, you could go back and forth. If you feel like it, you could put a little couple clouds in there. Oh, I know some of you like the Pokeball, so you could draw one of those in here. And there you go. So I'm just gonna keep going here, and I think I'll finish this one since I started it. So everybody, thank you for drawing with me from the Plainview Old Bethpage Library today. This lesson will be up for a few weeks, so I hope you're able to draw with me at some point. If you want to go out and get the supplies and come back and watch the video, that would be great. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and I will be back in September for another art lesson. Hope you can join me then. Thanks again. I'm art teacher Amy, and I'll see you soon. Keep drawing.